In just about every IT organization, there's this constant low-level anxiety. It's that tension, right? The one between having enough resources for your biggest, craziest peak demand and the crushing cost of paying for a bunch of servers that are just sitting there doing nothing. Get it wrong, and you're either bleeding money or you're one traffic spike away from a total catastrophic failure. So today, we're gonna defuse that bomb. So let's start with a question that probably sounds a little out of left field. What on earth could your on-prem data center possibly have in common with the entire Texas power grid? I'll give you a second to think about it. The answer, and you might be surprised, holds the key to unlocking massive savings and, maybe more importantly, preventing those nightmare failures in your IT infrastructure. You see, the secret is all in how Texas manages its power. And this isn't just some boring technical process. No, it's a constant, high-stakes tightrope walk. We're talking 1,000 feet in the air with the stability of millions of homes and businesses hanging right there in the balance. It is an incredible lesson in precision management. At its heart, the whole concept is actually, well, it's beautifully simple. The grid operator, ERCOT, just has to make sure that power production, let's call that the supply, is always just a tiny bit above what people are actually using in real time, the demand. I mean, think about the last time you had a power outage. That's what happens when this delicate balance breaks. Now, just for a second, picture that exact same thing playing out inside your data center. So how does this map to your world? Well, it's the exact same principle. We just use different words. Their supply is your capacity. That's all your compute, storage, and network resources ready to go. Their demand is your consumption, what your applications are actually using right now. And the risk? A blackout for them is a service outage for you. Same problem, different zip code. So the whole game really is about managing the space between those two lines. We call it the capacity gap. And it's right there, in that gap, where efficiency is either won or lost. So what happens when you get this gap wrong? Well, the consequences can be pretty devastating in two very, very different ways. Okay, so if your gap is too wide, you're just massively overprovisioned. I want you to picture your CFO's face when they see the bill for all the servers you're paying for and powering and cooling that are literally doing nothing. Ouch. But if the gap is too narrow, honestly, that's way more terrifying. Imagine your company's main website crashing on its biggest sales day of the year because you just didn't have the capacity. One path is wasteful, the other is a potential business killer. But here is the good news. You don't have to be a victim of the capacity gap. In fact, if you learn to master it, you can turn this whole challenge into one of your organization's biggest strengths. The payoff is enormous. And believe me, it's not just about what you'll see on the balance sheet. So let's just cut to the chase, right? What is the actual tangible reward for getting this balancing act right? Well, the number is, frankly, it's pretty astounding. That's right. We're talking about a potential year-over-year reduction in IT spending of 30 to 40%. I mean, just let that sink in for a minute. By strategically eliminating that waste, you can free up a huge chunk of your budget for innovation, for growth, for pretty much anything other than powering empty server racks. But the benefits don't stop with your budget. As incredible as those savings are, when you optimize your data center for financial efficiency, you are also, at the exact same time, making a really profound and positive impact on the planet. And achieving this, it comes from a holistic strategy. Think of these pillars like the foundation of a skyscraper. Yeah, your main focus is on capacity and consumption, but if any of the others, like availability, performance, security, or resiliency, if any of them are weak, the whole structure is at risk. Real excellence happens when they're all working together in perfect harmony. Okay, so that's the theory. But how do you actually do this in the real world, day in and day out? The answer, my friends, is automation. And it is an absolute game changer. It's how we move from constantly fighting fires to proactive, intelligent optimization. This 4-step blueprint is how you make it happen. Step 1, assess your live workloads. Use monitoring tools to get a real, honest picture of your demand. Step 2, use infrastructure as code, think Terraform or Crossplane, to create repeatable, scalable templates. 3, integrate those templates into your CI/CD pipelines. This creates automation loops that can adjust capacity in near real time. And finally, step 4, monitor everything after it's provisioned and constantly iterate, always refining. It might sound like a lot, but you can start small. Even just doing one of these steps can make a huge difference. Ultimately, adopting this model is more than just a new process. It's a fundamental shift in how we think. It's the difference between an old-school blacksmith hammering out horseshoes one by one and a modern factory that's optimized for precision, speed, and zero waste. It's really about rethinking what IT's primary job even is. This quote from Madhusudan Kanagasabay, the author of our source material, just nails it. Elevate efficiency from an afterthought to a core mandate. So let me ask you, right now in your organization, is efficiency just an afterthought, something you kind of hope for, or is it a core mandate that drives every single decision you make?
Because this is about so much more than just saving a few bucks. It's about building a better future. Every single inefficient server is chewing up power and spitting out heat. By making our infrastructure smarter and leaner, we are directly contributing to a more sustainable world. You, working in IT, you have the power to make that happen.
So we'll leave you with this question to take back to your team. The future of IT is efficient, it's sustainable, and it's automated. The only real question left is, will you be a part of it?